Hi, we're Jen and Corey, and we are JeepGypsies. We were pleasantly surprised by our camp guests in the morning. On Assateague Island, there are currently 89 wild horses. However, there is only one baby, and we were lucky enough to get a visit.
Cigarettes, don't know where you're headed now. Working for your bread, trying to make your family proud. 40 in the head, don't know what you're saying.
We were staying at the Assateague National Seashore Campground on Beach Loop 2, and we would highly recommend it.
Wake up, darling, on the way up to the sun, sitting by the tree.
As you might be able to see, the beach is one of Pig's favorite places to visit. She was able to run in the sand, frolic in the water, and enjoy the nice weather.
Let's roll another one, la 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 la, oh la 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 la, wake up.
We took in one last sunset on the beach.
Oh la 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 la, oh la 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 la, wake up. Oh darling, 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 in the daydream, bossing all the way to my home. What a space in
We then headed south all the way to the tip of the peninsula.
so I live my life with a smile like one, living in
To stay at the Virginia Welcome Center overnight, which is right at the north side of the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnels. It's a great place to get information about the eastern shores with lots of pamphlets to be had.
Wake up, darling, on the way.
They also had a huge pet area with all the fixins.
Let's roll another one, la 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 la.
48-hour parking,
Wake up,
and access to trails for hiking in the wildlife refuge.
darling, darling, oh la 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 la, oh la 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 la. Wake up, oh darling, darling, darling. Oh you wanna be, oh you wanna see the sunshine go and glow.
When we left the island, we headed south over the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnels, which is a toll and cost us $31. At this point, we thought we would be heading out to the Outer Banks of North Carolina. However, some guy named Jose made a bit of a fuss. So we turned north and inland and back to Washington, D.C. to meet up with my stepdad, Bill, who was there meeting with some officials along with a group he was representing. The Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnels opened in 1964. They are 23 miles long and include two 1-mile-long tunnels at each shipping lane that dive to a depth of 103 feet. It is one of only 10 bridge tunnel systems in the world.
We had done some laundry and ate, making the day long, so we shacked up at the Cracker Barrel in Richmond and called it a night.
The next morning we headed up to Pohick Regional Park, where we would stay the next 4 nights. It is a small park, but it is close to town and has full hookups. We took a hike and ran across a rarish eastern mud snake swimming in the water below us. We also found some otters swimming around and enjoying themselves. Pretty cool. The following morning, we took the opportunity to have some breakfast at Bob and Edith's Diner in Crystal City with Bill before his meetings. Then we set off to the National Mall to do some touristing. Staying true to the cause, we got on the wrong train, so we ended up halfway down the mall at the National Archives. The Washington Monument took 34 years to build, and in 1884 it was the tallest building at just over 550 feet. It'll be closed until 2019. The World War II memorial was completed in 2004. It is dedicated to the men and women who each did their part to win the Second World War. The Freedom Wall has 4,048 gold stars, each representing 100 Americans who died in the war. In front of the wall lies the message, "Here we mark the price of freedom." At the reflecting pool, we saw preparations for a ceremony called the Lights of Hope. The pool was lined with over 25,000 bags, each with a person's name who was afflicted with cancer. It was a pretty sobering sight to see. Their message was one of hope.
More than 2 words you spoken or heard when you thought across your mind that I was dead. And 21 years
We then found ourselves at the Lincoln Memorial, which is one of the most recognizable monuments in D.C. It was dedicated in 1922 with Lincoln's only surviving son in attendance. Inside, you will find his well-known statue, as well as his second inaugural address and the Gettysburg Address. We then hoofed it to Arlington Cemetery Station to catch a train. And yes, that's a poster using D's nuts as its punchline.
We made it back to Crystal City to grab the Jeep and head home. The next day, we did it again. This time to L'Enfant Plaza, where we were greeted by a row of mini lunch trucks. We're getting a number 4. He gave us a sample of the lamb with the sauce. And we're suckers.
We took a quick run into the Smithsonian Air and Space Museum after hiding my pocket knife outside due to security checks. They didn't like my gimbal either. Apparently it's an apparatus, and those are bad. We got in anyway. The place is pretty small, but they pack a lot of information and stuff into it. It is well done, like all the rest of the Smithsonian's. Being a pilot, I'm always excited to visit these kinds of places.
While we're here, time seems to stand still. It's given time to breathe and time to see where we want to go.
Heck, you even get to sit in the primary flight control on an aircraft carrier.
If only we'd known. So while I'm sitting here thinking, singing thoughts now, 'cause I don't want this time to end. 'Cause I'll just let you know that these are the best days of our lives.
When we started on our way up Capitol Hill, we got to witness a motorcade. That's pretty exciting and noisy. We have no idea who it could have been. We passed a botanical garden and a beautiful fountain at Bartholdi Park. We met up with Bill one more time for dinner and then said goodbye to Washington, D.C.
With Jose wandering in circles to the north, we were able to rejoin our trek to the Outer Banks, where you will find us next week. Thank you so much for following along with us. If you like this video, please click the like button, and if you are not following us, please hit subscribe. To get notifications right away when we put out a new video, click the little bell next to the subscribe button. We would love to hear from you in the comments as well. Don't forget to check out some of our other videos. You will find some suggestions here.